At the beginning of the film, a girl is seen dancing ballet. After the dance class, she sat in her expensive car and drove to her mansion, and then we saw 6 people watching Abigail. They followed the car into Abigail's house, after which these people knocked him unconscious by injecting it. But the real mission was to get Abigail out of here. Then Abigail's father arrived home. These men were about to be caught, but they managed to kidnap Abigail. After that they all come to the old mansion, where Lambert, the mastermind of this kidnapping, was already there. He had planned that after kidnapping Abigail, he would ask her rich father for $50 million, and after receiving the money, he would give them his share. But until then, the group kept Abigail tied up in the mansion. Abigail's security was also their responsibility, and most importantly, Lambert tells them that there is a rule: no one tells anyone their real name, everyone uses fake names to call each other. Given by Lambert: Joey, Frank, Dean, Sammy, Peter, Rickles. Lambert also took their phones so the police couldn't trace them. Before leaving, he gives one last instruction: Abigail will be blindfolded, and no one but Joey will enter her room. Thus, Abigail would not know how many people had kidnapped her. Lambert had not yet revealed who Abigail's father was. All they knew was that he was a millionaire. After Lambert leaves, the group begins to speculate about each other. They called Frank a police detective, which was true. The girl sitting next to him was a hacker who hacked people's accounts and stole money, and he was here because of his driving skills. This guy was a badass. And finally, a sniper. After all this, Joey went into Abigail's room. Abigail was so scared that Joey removed the blindfold, breaking Lambert's rule. Joey gives her a pinky promise that she won't hurt her and let anyone else hurt her. "I have a son like you," Abigail was glad to hear. She asked again, "Do you love your son?" Joey said, "Yes, but my father is strange. He's angry and dangerous. He doesn't love me as much as you love your son." Before Joey leaves, Abigail warns her, "Something bad is going to happen tonight." Joey found this statement strange. Outside the room, Joey tells everyone, "I think Abigail's father is a dangerous man. We need to find out whose daughter we kidnapped." Frank wasted no time and went into Abigail's room to ask for her father's name. Hearing the name, he panicked as he couldn't believe that they had kidnapped the daughter of a notorious gangster. When he informed everyone, everyone was shocked. Frank shared his experience. Once, 3 officers worked against this gangster. After that, the 3 officers started receiving threats. To protect them, they got the most secure with 24/7 security at the door. Kept in the room. There were only 2 ways to enter the room: a window and a door. But when the door was opened in the morning, these 3 officers were found dead. Everyone except the driver was scared because he didn't believe in such stories. However, they all needed money, so they decided to stay. After a while, Dean goes to the basement and on him is attacked by someone. He screams loudly and Sammy hears his scream. She goes to check and sees that someone has cut the Dean throat. Then there comes Peter. This view looks. He goes back upstairs and tells everyone that we are under attack. He says, "I don't want the money, I'm running." As he and Frank try to get out of the mansion, the advanced security system activates. Metal shields appear in front of the windows and doors, which means these people are trapped here. They also knew that there was a killer in the building who was going to kill them, so they became vigilant. Joey went to Abigail's room and asked her if she knew anything about the attacks. Abigail told her. "Frank was my father's man," says Abigail. "Frank doesn't want anyone to know." She is enraged upon hearing this. Before she and Sniper go to Frank's, she turns around to find that Sniper has been killed, having been treated so badly that his face is torn off. Joey even more scared. Joey goes to Frank and asks him if what Abigail said is true. At gunpoint, Frank tries to convince her that the girl is playing games with us. She's lying, but Joey doesn't believe they're in her room. Abigail is scared and takes off her handcuffs. And the next moment she was a vampire. Frank shoots her, but Abigail recovers herself. Seeing this, everyone is scared. They go out and lock her in her room. Seeing Abigail, she reveals many secrets. Realize that not only Abigail, her father is also a vampire. That is why everyone is afraid of her, and all the murders so far have been done by Abigail. They have to kill Abigail if they want to live. Sammy grabs garlic. Frank grabs a sharp weapon to kill the vampire, but Joey doesn't agree with all of them. She's believed that if we want to survive, we have to deal with Abigail anyway. They ignore it. They open Abigail's room where Abigail is dancing with Dean's corpse. They attack Abigail from behind, but Abigail herself attacks them. Attacks Garlic and Cross have no effect. They then run out of Abigail's room for their lives. Joey advises them that we should use an injection to make Abigail unconscious. But it was not easy for Abigail to come into their hands. Abigail is still on everyone's nerves, but Peter, the bully in their group, manages to grab Abigail from behind and Joey administers an anesthetic in the chaos. Abigail had cut Sammy. Everyone was afraid that Sammy would become a vampire too. Then when Abigail regained consciousness she found herself in prison and everyone talked to Abigail and asked her what she wanted, and here they find all the danger. The fact is that they didn't actually kidnap Abigail, but Abigail kidnapped them. It was all Abigail's plan and Lambert worked for Abigail. Although Abigail is a little girl, she having lived in this world for over 100 years, she tells them, "You are here because you hurt my father in some way." This hacker hacked into Abigail's father's account and stole millions of dollars from him, as Abigail reveals everyone's real names and how they hurt her father. After hearing this, Joey tells her that she also knows that your father doesn't love you anymore and doesn't even like to look at you. Abigail offers to let whoever gets me out of here alive. To get out of here, they had to find a way out. After they left, Frank had to keep an eye on Abigail. After all this, Abigail makes a deal with Frank. She tells him that you get me out of here and I will leave you alive and eat everyone else. After this, Frank asks her for directions. After hearing that, Abigail tells him that there is a book in the library that will disable all security systems. Frank breaks Abigail's contract and goes to show his colleagues the way out. Broke his cage and attacked him. Frank was about to be killed when, just in time, Joey broke a window. Parted from Abigail because the sun was shining, but no matter how long they stayed here they would have to face Abigail. They must find a way out. Abigail takes control of Sammy's mind, which she cut out with her powers, turning the girl into a vampire. Sammy kills Peter. Then she attacks Joey. Joey reflects sunlight through a mirror at Sammy. As soon as the sunlight hits it, it explodes like a bomb, killing everyone except Frank and Joey. Frank goes to the library and enlists the help of a book. Abigail tells him there is a control room inside where he can see Lambert sitting. Frank wastes no time shooting Lambert, but Lambert recovers himself, was turned into a vampire and has been working for Abigail ever since. He captures for Abigail anyone who harmed Abigail's father, breaks, emotionally plays with them, beats them and satisfies herself. Now Lambert was tired of working for Abigail. She wanted Frank's support. She wanted Frank's help. Support by first killing Frank and turning him into a vampire, then killing Abigail, and then Abigail's father, who was the world's biggest gangster, becomes the master of everything. Frank had no objection to his offer, so Frank agrees as he transforms into a vampire and stabs Lambert in the heart and kills him. Lambert's plan was to take all of Abigail's father's wealth. Frank realizes that he has become so strong that all the wounds on his body heal. Abigail was now struggling to fight Frank because Frank was bigger than her. On the other hand, we saw Joey, who was sure she wasn't going to survive. Attacked from behind, he beats her, tortures her but does not eat her. As a result, Joey becomes a vampire. Meanwhile, Abigail comes here and makes a deal with her to kill Frank, just as Frank made a deal with Lambert to kill Abigail. But there is a twist in the story. Joey and Frank. A vampire was created because of the bite, so Frank controls her. Frank orders her to kill Abigail, but Joey controls himself and doesn't kill Abigail. She helps Abigail. Abigail kills Frank by stabbing him with a weapon. The survivors were Abigail and Joey. Now it was Joey's turn to die, but Abigail didn't kill her because Joey had saved her life and Abigail had a good relationship with her, so Abigail bonded with Joey. "Yes, you're free. You can leave. You won't become a vampire after Frank dies." Just before Joey is about to run away, Abigail's father walks in. He is very angry. He is about to eat Joey, so Abigail stops her father and tells him, "She's saved my life. Joey killed Frank." When Abigail's father tells her to go, Joey leaves. We see her living a normal life. The movie ends.